Thanks so much for tuning in to Double T Insider. I'm Taylor Peters alongside Robert Giovanetti. It was a heartbreaker for Texas Tech football on Saturday. They fell here at home on Senior Day to the Longhorns 41-34. And Coach Kingsbury and the players are not talking about more of victories, but we can, because there are some good things that we saw on Saturday. I
was so proud of the fight in our guys. It's cold, you're behind late in the game. A lot of the fans had left. It would have been easy to just pack it in and live the fight another night, but they came back, tied it up, had a really good chance there at the end, at least go to overtime. 24 points in the fourth quarter. I mean, that was big because you go in after the end of the third quarter, we're down 17 points. And I think the players, I mean, that's what Coach Kingsbury just kept saying, like, they didn't give up, they didn't give up. And especially the quarterback, Jet Duffy, he was 37 of 47, 524 all-purpose yards. I mean, that says something. I think what we saw in Jet is what everyone knows he can do. When he was Mr. Texas football coming out of high school, and with Jet, you get the big plays. Sometimes he made a couple of mistakes, but overall, we look at his performance, outstanding. And hey, how about that onside kick? I don't believe I've ever seen something like that before, where you just fire a laser beam at the other team, and it worked efficiently, and you had a chance there. And when you do something like that, you almost kind of think, that worked so good. I wonder, was it intentional? I mean, Tony Jones obviously made a big play there too, but Clayton Hatfield, wow. Yeah, I mean, the guy's trying to get out of the way, but it just can't. It's like a heat-seeking missile. Hits him, and Tony was right there to make the big play. But defensively, I mean, this is the second week in a row that you don't have Dakota Allen in the capacity that you want him. You need guys like Jordan Brooks and Rico Jeffers to step up, and they absolutely did. They did, and we've seen this all year with this UT offense. The quarterback doesn't make mistakes to hurt you, and that Tech wasn't able to take advantage of anything. But, yeah, those guys stepped in. When Dakota can't go, those guys really stepped up. And it's really hard, right, to not have the emotions of Senior Day get into you. But, I mean, some of those guys really had huge games. And I'd like to think that they saw good performances from the younger men, and that was able to kind of like lead their legacy with those young guys too. It was emotional afterwards. Those guys left it all on the field, and they were so disappointed. But you've got 2 games still and a lot you can play for here left in the rest of the season. Meanwhile, a huge victory for Coach Tom Stone and Red Raider soccer as they defeated Princeton, the winners of the Ivy League Conference here at home, the first round of the NCAA tournament, a shutout victory 3-0. That was big. I think in that game you saw what we've seen all year long out of this Red Raider team, smothering defense, just taking the game to the other team, and it played out. And Coach Stone and Cassie Bourne both talked about how last year, they didn't make it into the postseason. And Coach Stone said the day that they got back after losing the first round of the Big 12 tournament, this season began. And I think that speaks a lot about just the fire that this group has. I get to spend a lot of time with these guys each and every day, and I know that they've been really focused since what happened last year. Savannah Jones and Charlotte Teeter were actually here after they beat Princeton. They came to watch the men's basketball team, which I think is neat. They're supporting others. It was fun to see them out there. It was. Yeah. Well, still to come on Double T Insider, we talk more about that men's basketball game. But first, let's take a look at that huge victory for Red Raider soccer.
Double T Insider is brought to you in part by Plains Capital Bank. Bank with confidence. The Red Raider Club. Your support, their effort, our fearless champions. Texas Farm Bureau. Register today for your chance to deliver the game ball and receive a VIP experience at a Texas Tech home football game. Contest details available at texastech.com.
It's Texas Tech and Mississippi Valley State from the United Supermarkets Arena in Lubbock. Here's Moretti again, and he's got it. Nobody shoots it any better or softer than Davide. Out there as well. Here's Moretti by himself. This might be another 3, and it is. Over again at the free throw line, and tough to stop the playmaker. Moretti has the range tonight from outside the arc. Nice look by Tariq, and Odiase can finish with authority too.
Welcome back into Double T Insider. Red Raider basketball picked up a big victory over Mississippi Valley State on Friday. Davide Moretti, he's already been impressive. 17 points, 12 of those came in the first half, and all of them in threes. Watching
Davide, you can just see how much more mature he is than a year ago, and he knocked down those threes, and you can tell this is going to be a vital part of this offense moving forward.
And I asked him after the game where he felt like he had grown the most in the last year, and he said in confidence. And he played with a lot of poise, a lot of confidence in that game against Mississippi Valley State.
And I think having Moody helps him also,
huge.
right? Because you can't just concentrate on Davide. You've got to pay attention to where Moody is. Also in the offense, Moody can run the one also, so it gives you lots of different options.
And Matt Mooney is a guy that Coach Beard has just raved about, really, and his high IQ and how he's a good decision maker. He's somebody that you trust out there. He said he's going to make a really good coach someday. Yeah. Really excited to see what Matt Mooney does this year. And another big victory for Texas Tech over Southeastern Louisiana on Tuesday night. Senior Norris Odiase secured a career-high 13 rebounds in his 92nd career game. Sophomore Jarrett Culver would secure a season-high 21 points and lead the team on Tuesday night as the Red Raiders would go on to defeat the Lions 59-40. The Red Raiders moved to 3-0 on the season and look forward to facing off against USC in the Hall of Fame Classic in Kansas City. A good start for the men and a strong start for the beginning of the Lady Raider era under Coach Marlene Stallings. Maybe one of the most impressive players so far has been Chrislyn Carr. She's a freshman point guard, and it's hard to be able to come in and take command like she has, but especially at the point guard position too, but she's just really done it with a lot of confidence.
You know, you told me Sunday before the game to watch her and how she takes control, and you were dead on. She was in command the entire time when she was on the floor.
16 points for her, but a double-double for Brittany Brewer, 13 points, 13 rebounds, 16 rebounds for Zuri Sanders, and that's big because that's an effort thing right there.
With the whole team, the one thing you can watch immediately is they play so much harder than they have in the past, and that's Zuri's game. Getting in there, getting some of the garbage points, doing some of the dirty work, and 16 boards is just amazing.
Yeah, it's a big deal. And
no matter who you're playing.
And it goes to, it's a spark too. It doesn't matter if she's coming off the bench or if she's one of the starters. I mean, she's going to get out there and really push some people around, and that, you see the way that the players feed off that energy.
And she's certainly built for the physicality of Big 12 play, and these kind of games will give her confidence.
Coming up next on Double T Insider, we catch up with junior wide receiver Antoine Wesley.
Deep down the left side, trying to get it to Wesley. He's got the catch. Oh, what a catch. Then as Bowman throws the fade left side for Wesley. One-handed catch. Touchdown, Red Raiders. Duffy throws. It is caught. And touchdown, Red Raiders. It is caught by Wesley. He's at the 10. Sidesteps a defender. Touchdown, Red Raiders.
Antoine Wesley is a young man who has just been so impressive all year long, but really the last 4 games of conference play. Right now, he's got 644 receiving yards in just those 4 games. Right. It's unbelievable.
I was trying to think back before the season started. Was he getting a lot of hype and a lot of, I mean, we knew he could go out there and catch the ball. He's a lot more physical than I remember him being, and we actually heard Coach Kingsbury talk about that at a media availability, about watching him, you know, get off his defender and get open and get the ball. But if you put it anywhere near him, he's going to get up there and get the ball.
And that's the thing that you constantly are hearing the receivers coach tell Alan Bowman or Jet Duffy, whoever the quarterback is, just put the ball in place and know that he's going to come down with it.
And actually, I've heard sometimes the quarterbacks, he's become such a security blanket because you know he'll go get it.
Yeah.
So sometimes they'll look for him, maybe even when they shouldn't be looking for him.
And fans maybe didn't know what they were going to see this year from Antoine Wesley, but any person within the entire football program, if you ask them who was going to be the most exciting guy this year, almost all of them said him.
We saw it last year. They talked a little bit about him last year, but really what we've seen, but I don't think anybody saw what we are getting out of him right now.
And I love the touchdown celebrations that he has with TJ Vasher. It's one of his best friends, so those two together are just really the dynamic duo. But we had a chance this week to catch up with Bolitnikoff semi-finalist Antoine Wesley. You're watching Outside the Huddle, brought to you by Southwest Bank. I'm Taylor Peters with Bolitnikoff semi-finalist Antoine Wesley. Tweezy, Coach Kingsbury has been talking about you and how special you are for the last 2 years, but you've turned a corner this season. What's that from?
Really, just doing the little things right on the field. Telling Coach Kingsbury, I have his back every day, and all my brothers that I play on the field for, and really just, doing what I want to do and love.
And Kiki was there on the sideline on Saturday. How special was that moment that you had with him on the field? Oh man,
because it goes back to we're just talking and telling him he's telling me you're gonna be the next guy up. Yeah. And I'm like, I just can't wait. I just don't know what I'm gonna do with it. It's very overwhelming. So it was a good moment. I loved it.
But it doesn't matter who's at quarterback, whether it's Alan Bowman or McLean Carter or Jet Duffy. All of them say that they just have tremendous confidence in you. What difference does that make in your game and the freedom that you have?
Really nothing. After practice we always used to just throw the ball one-on-ones. Get used to the confidence of every receiver, every quarterback. So if something does happen like how I did, Jake steps in and nothing changed and just keep rolling.
One of my favorite parts about when you score a touchdown is the way that you and TJ Vasher celebrate together. Who comes up with the handshakes, you or him?
Well, it just depends. He can come up with it, I can come up with it. So it's
This is Antoine Wesley. I'm Taylor Peters, and this is Outside the Huddle, brought to you by Southwest Bank. Gio, the last time that we were at Kansas State, the team was fighting for Bill Snyder's 500th win. And now this weekend it's going to be Senior Day. Senior
Day, there's a lot of speculation. Could this be Coach Snyder's last game at home for Kansas State? A lot of emotion be in that stadium on Saturday when the Red Raiders take on the Wildcats.
But the players have all talked about how they love the energy of that stadium. And Broderick Washington even said, hey, I remember being there last time and I fed off the energy of the stadium.
And our guys have really proven they can win on the road in high energy situations. So I think it really sets up nicely these last two games for Tech.
Don't go anywhere. We'll talk Texas Tech volleyball up next on Double T Insider. Coach Tony Greystone came in with the ability to be able to turn around a program, and we've been able to watch that up close and personal this year.
When you see where they were last year and they went to the finals of the what amounts to the NIT in volleyball, and this year they're fighting for a spot in NCAA, it's amazing where this program has come in the 3 years under Coach Greystone.
And just to be able to put yourselves in those positions where you're, going on the road and defeating Baylor 3-1, and when you're able to take some of those really good teams to 5 sets, that does a lot because at least you're getting closer to being able to close out those games and get victories.
And we can say this for any sport, but the Big 12 really plays volleyball very well. And if you're competing at this level in the Big 12, then you've really got the program where you want it to be.
And we were able to get an up-close and personal look at game day here with Sounds of the Court.
Okay. Let's go, Beetlejuice. He hit me with a 50-50 ball. I enjoyed it. Brooke is like, adulthood is great because you can go to Chick-fil-A and Cane's in the same day and your mom can't say no. He did the first whistle. I heard you were mic'd up. Yes.
Mom, if you're listening, I need some money, please. At Sarah Redding. Thanks. Love you.
Fun fact, she taught herself cursive first grade.
We are underway.
see you, Haley.
A little bit of an overpass, but Owens takes care of it.
Let's go!
There's a beautiful dump by Missy Owens. Here she comes with a chance to do that, but it's blocked, and the Red Raiders win set 2. They come all the way from behind. This thing is dead even.
OU back to serve, number 4. Should I do it with an accent? Kylie with a pass, Kylie Riddiman. Oh, it's slammed down by Missy Owens, and Texas Tech gets the point.
Keaton Kinley would have had it, and a huge block to go up 1 in set 3.
Let's go! We have to bark. Ready? Okay, we're all ready.
And the Red Raiders take the 3rd set.
This is where I want you to breathe but not let up. This is where you know you are in control. And it's now you go all out, right? You just push all those chips in, and we are selling out on every point.
Let's go. Hey, you're good. You're good. Let's go. Hey, let's go. That's way in.
That's all we ask for, isn't it? Go 5 with a team like this. 10 times, right? 10 times.
Tech on 2, 1, 2. Tech.
Don't go anywhere. Still to come on Double T Insider. We'll let you know what's happening in Texas Tech athletics this week.
Double T Insider was brought to you in part by Plains Capital Bank. Bank with confidence. The Red Raider Club. Your support, their effort, our fearless champions. Texas Farm Bureau. Register today for your chance to deliver the game ball and receive a VIP experience at a Texas Tech home football game. Contest details available at texastech.com.
The Red and Black Series officially in the books for Texas Tech baseball. The black team won. I know that was your team, Gio.
A lot of depth, both red and black. Always good when the Red Raiders win.
Red Raider football on the road, taking on Kansas State in Manhattan this Saturday at 2:30.
The Red Raider basketball team will go on the road for the first time at the Hall of Fame Classic in Kansas City Monday night. They'll play USC. That'll be at 8:30 on ESPN2. And then on Tuesday night, they will play either Missouri State or Nebraska. Meanwhile, the women's basketball team home Saturday, November 17th, 3 o'clock against Idaho. That one can be seen on Fox Sports Southwest Plus. And then they will host Texas A&M Corpus Christi on Tuesday, November 20th. That'll be a 7 o'clock tip.
Texas Tech soccer taking on Virginia in round 2 of the NCAA tournament Friday at 3 o'clock. And Red Raider volleyball taking on Kansas State on the road this Saturday. That's all of our time for now. Thanks so much for joining us on Double T Insider. For Robert Giovanetti, I'm Taylor Peters. We'll see you next week.